Hey everybody, welcome to Crowdfunding Countdown, where we take a look at every single board game campaign finishing up in the next week. And this week is no different. Well, it's a little bit different. This week I'm going back. I'm rewinding the clock. I'm taking back some stuff. There's controversy abound. Not really. I'll tell you what the controversy is right now. It's the Stellar Drift. Stellar Drift was my pick of the week last week, and you know what? They did the stupid $1 thing. At least that's what somebody in the comments said. They had this dumb little thing where you could pay $1 beforehand and get a little special expansion. And I think that sort of thing is stupid. So if that happened, I take it back. If that happens, I take it back. If it didn't, well, good job on funding. There you go. But you know what I could never take back? My eternal love for all of my new patrons. We've got to shout out Dylan. We've got to shout out Steph, two incredible people who have jumped onto the Room and Board Patron. And we also have to shout out, really, Chris, not a bear. Okay. I'm a bit worried here that someone has invaded my Discord. Someone who may not be human. And hey, before you jump down my throat and say I'm anti-humanoid, that is not the case. I've seen Voyager. I'm like your friendly neighborhood Neelix, all right? I serve drinks to all peoples, except one type of creature, and those creatures just happen to be the same creatures that kidnap my entire family, okay? Bears, if you didn't know. If you didn't know, my entire family was kidnapped by bears. And so to have someone pop in and dishonor my good name, this strangely, and you know what? Maybe their first name is really. We've met some weird characters in this whole crowdfunding countdown. We've met a person whose first name is Slippery. I get it. And can save you 10% off on Into the AM t-shirts. No, that was last week. So I'm hoping Chris is the last name. And then they married someone whose last name was not a bear. And I hope it's a typo. I hope really that you exist out there and you are really not a bear. But only time will tell. I guess only time will tell. I don't know who you are, but I'll find you, okay? I'll find you. So a better shout out goes to Dylan and Steph. Dylan and Steph, thank you for jumping on board, supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. If you watch this channel a bunch and you have the means, and you want to throw a couple quarters my way like the gumball machine of a human that I am. I know I've said that before, but I just think it's funny. So I'm going to say it again. Feel free to do so. And if not, no worries. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hitting the like and subscribe and all those wonderful things that you do. Let's get into the week, though. We don't have too large of a week. We have Stellar Drift. We already covered that. And first up, we've got Spire's End Rangitaki. It's not Ragnaraki, but it's Rangitaki. Spire's End is a solo choose-your-path card game. There's no video here, but it's based on, this is, I assume, the third entry into the Spire's End series. There was Spire's End, there was Spire's End Hildegard, and now there's Spire's End Rangitaki. And these are solo games that have received pretty decent reviews throughout their existence. Oh, okay. This game unveils the untold independent story of Rangitaki, another pivotal character from Spire's End Volume 1. And really, it's just a illustrated choose-your-own-adventure game where you look through cards instead of a book. Oh, however, in a first for the Spire's End series, encounters will unfold on a game board. Look at that, you'll be able to place cards places. You'll engage in rounds of straightforward, light tactical skirmishes and events governed by intuitive rules. Are these the rules in this survival guide? Let's find out. Yet be warned, once you've begun, do not look at any cards you have not been instructed to see. Exploring alternate timelines can contaminate the mind. You may slip into a numb, vacant state of consciousness, never to return. Or you might just ruin the game for yourself. So don't do that, especially when it's a narrative adventure. Alright, so Rangitaki's ability to handle mental, physical, and critical aspects of the game is measured by her talent points. These points are utilized to modify dice roll results during challenges and hits. There's sort of stat checks. You have 3 20-sided die. There's going to be different challenge points. And then you can use them to influence the roll results so you can increase your chance of succeeding. That makes sense. Oh, they're permanent as long as you have them. Okay, that seems nice. So you're gaining these points, you're gaining better skills as you're going along. What's this tactical thing? You can take wounds, you have 8 health points. Action points are the only currency spent in the game. You can spend action points to perform all of your actions inside and outside the encounters. So any attacks cost you a number of actions. You have a certain number of actions in your fight. Okay, and you just move around on this battle mat. Hey, it worked for Too Many Bones. Yeah, it seems pretty simple, but it gives you a little bit of a elevation from the previous Spire's ends, it seems. It's 42 US, 57 Canadian. What's shipping like? 12 to the US, 18 to Canada. Yeah. So for me, it's $60 US. That's like 80 something Canadian. And I don't play solo games, so definitely not interested for me. But I really like the art style. I think it seems fun. Potentially is that sort of choose a card, explore a world style game that might appeal to me a little bit more than Seventh Continent. Seventh Continent was just horrendous. So if that interests you, check it out. That finishes Thursday, February 15th at 2:57 p.m. Moving along to Triumph. Turn the Roman Republic from a small city into a vast empire. This is by Phalanx Games, and so I know it's going to be complicated, but we're going to take a look and see what's up. Well, that was a confusing video. Embark on a journey to shape the destiny of the Roman Republic and become its first emperor. But before you ascend the throne, navigate the intricate web of politics and influence in the Republic, ensuring it doesn't succumb to the looming threat of barbarian invasion. Are you up for the challenge? 2 to 5 players, 60 minutes. Okay, maybe not so bad. Yeah, coalitions. Coalitions was one of the first things I looked at in this Crowdfunding Countdown show. And I remember that one looking really cool. I hope this one looks cool too. A little plastic thing, free for each backer, okay. And free for each backer of a deluxe edition, you get metal coins. Just kidding. Now that those things are free, they're built into the cost. Save up to £53 on the base game. It's £49 right now, 84 Canadian. But you get a little expansion with it too. That's cool. Oh, and you get to pour relish all over the miniatures as well. That's my favorite thing to do with the game. I got my jar of relish. I just scoop the relish right on top. It's not a good joke. Just abandon, cut, go to commercial. First thing telling me the only thing about the game, negotiating and bidding. I like that though. So you just get a bunch of wooden and plastic minis. If you do get the deluxe, definitely don't need that. Okay, stop showing me stuff that I know nothing about and give me the rules. The heart of the game lies in a deck of cards representing your family's most illustrious historical figures. Secure key offices, gain clients, legions, or talents, and thus govern provinces. Well, shipping before you even play. £12. That's a lot. So it'd be like $100 for me to get this game. Probably a little bit more. Rulebook like 7/8 down the page. But there was a little tab on the side, so I'll take what I can get. Triumph, as they said back in the day. Most prestige is made emperor, wins the game. You'll play 3 rounds of 7 phases. Phases 2 to 6 are bidding phases. Okay, great. So it's just a big old bidding game. You bid influence to control an office available in that phase. Then you control the most powerful office for that phase and act first in that phase. Okay. You bid through simultaneous play of one of your 6 family cards. All players have the same family cards. Influence value of 0 to 5. Cool. Like this. Cool. If you don't get a bid, then you have more power in later bids. There's a way for everyone to lose because you can fight against these barbarians who are slowly advancing towards the capital. Oh, cool. So your 1 value card is generally the most impressive one because you get to add another card to it. And you can see what everybody else has played too. I like that that's like your ace in the hole if you really want to win something. But if you're tying with somebody, you all both put everything down simultaneously. And then 2 to 5, it just represents the number of stuff that you can put into the round. And then 0 is useless, but it gives you a little bump of money. Yeah, so there's a number of resources that you're juggling here. The resources are all sort of going to be on the board. You're juggling your own legions, your own fighting force, and your own clients. The clients representing your presence, the actual presence in the buildings, and also the provinces. But buildings let you do a bunch of different stuff. You can pass laws as well, which are basically one-time use cards. You're also all going to be bidding on military leaders. There are some major and some minor, and only one major can go into a province. Oddly constructed rulebook, like the phases are what I want to know. They're near the end of the thing, I guess, to get me to read all of it. Because I want to see what you're bidding on, right? So you're bidding on law cards first in the assembly. Then you're bidding on buildings. Okay, that makes sense. You got to define why these things all make sense or are important. You're bidding on money and military leaders. You're bidding on removing other people. Less exciting to get that, especially in a larger player game. And then you're just building on clients as well, putting people in the space. Cool. Yeah, it looks kind of neat. I mean, it doesn't look $100 neat, but I think it looks like a solid area control with outbidding your opponents, right? Saying, listen, let me get this. I won't bid later. The fact that you all only have the same amount of cards might skew things, but I do like the potential there that you're going to be revealing things and people are going to be unhappy with what is revealed. So yeah, kind of looks neat. I think it's a bit too expensive and doesn't jump off the page to me, but I think it could be solid. If you're interested, that finishes Thursday, February 15th at 4 p.m. Let's move along to Cavern, the roll and write adventure, a simplified dungeon crawler with multiple maps, collect treasure and magical items, combat bosses, dodge traps, and try to survive. Yeah, it doesn't look that exciting. You just have a little maze, you're going to roll a dice. If you like the RPG roll and move style thing, that's what this looks like. You're going to run around, collect treasure, level up your stats, try to fight a baddie, and then find the exit in each one. Alright, does have a rule book though. Sure, it's a light week. Only 5 pages. It's a light rule book. Yeah, unfortunately I don't think this seems that fun. Maybe it might be worth. I mean, it's just a print and play, right? Who cares? $6 Canadian. You've got 5 maps. You just roll the dice. You have to use all of your movement every time. You can move like 2 to 3 spaces depending upon what you roll. Try to collect stuff. I don't know. I don't think it looks that interesting. Unfortunately, some print and plays do look interesting. This one doesn't really. But if you want to just have that light RPG roll and move style game, check it out. That's Thursday, February 15th at 5:17 p.m. Moving along to Among Cultists, a murder mystery thriller board game. Become detectives, find the killers among you, but don't trust anyone. Among Cultists is back with a reprint and a new deluxe expansion. I own this game. And unfortunately, I have yet to play it. I got it a couple months ago. I haven't gotten it to the table. I have reread through the rules a little bit, but not so fully that I'm ready to teach it. But it is basically Among Us, the board game. This was my 1,000th Kickstarter that I covered. And my 1,000th campaign on Crowdfunding Countdown, that was last January. It has fulfilled since. And they've been doing a lot of promo. They have these contests on their Facebook group saying, hey, follow this, and you might win a PlayStation or Frosthaven. And they have these big bundles of stuff. I've never seen an actual drawing or anyone actually be announced that they won it. But it's kind of fun to hope that you do. But this is legitimately the best sort of Among Us style board game that I've seen. Basically, you're going to be given this map, this room. You will have checks and tests that you have to go do, and you can only do them on certain rounds. So I can only activate the pink room on round 2 and 5, let's say. So that's how you can kind of guess who's faking it, if you're keeping track of what they say and when they said they would go and activate something and they didn't, right? Also, every time you pass by someone, you exchange a card. And usually, if you're a good boy like me, you just pass each other an alive card. But if you're a cultist, you can pass somebody a dead card, and then you've killed them. You've basically killed them, and they're not even going to know until something makes them check their deck and look through their cards. And so ideally, you want to say, okay, well, that person passed this, this, and this, and there's lots of intermingling and moving back and forth. 4 to 8 people this plays at 7 or 8, that's when you get 2 cultists. At anything less, you only have 1 cultist, which I get it for the balance, but I like there being a partner on the evil team as well. And so they have a bunch of expansions here, which you don't need. I just got the base game. Everything else is these different modules, these different roles and different maps. And generally, I'm a sucker for those sorts of things, and I have not fallen prey to it. So I feel very happy about that. It's kind of cool. Each pledge We'll give you some wooden tokens and a puzzle. I think that's kind of fun. Yeah, but it seems pretty simple. When you die, you just turn into a ghost, so you can still pursue your own objectives, which I think is great. No player elimination. It's got a rule book on the page, of course it does, up at the top. I'm excited to play this. I might take this with me to Nova Scotia, even though I don't know if we'll have enough people to get to it, but I might try to take it with me. I think it seems kind of cool, and I think it seems well thought out and seems simple enough to not complicate things. Now, how much is this? This was expensive, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 50 euros, 73 Canadian. That means I paid at least like 95 to get it to me. You kind of forget about these things, right? If you're just hitting back without any repercussions. But I wanted to back my 1,000 campaign. I wanted to do it, and I kind of judged the numbers so that it was something potentially good. And it is something that I am still excited to try out, which I think is important. It's an important and relevant statistic there. So yeah, if you've wanted an Among Us the game, this 100% will fit the bill. I think this does it in a way that all the other games trying to do it, I don't think they're going to live up to it, and I think this one will live up to it pretty simply. But yeah, a lot of the new expansions, that stuff is just additional maps. And having yet to play on the map, I don't know how bored I would get. I don't think I will, though. I think the core of Among Us, you never needed that extra map. You just need the players. And I'm hoping that this will replicate the same feeling as well. What's shipping? What did I pay in shipping? New Investigator, 10 euros, 15 euros, 12 euros. Yeah, I don't think I paid that much in shipping. I wonder if I can check. Oops, can't show you that. That had my address on it, and I don't want to get 57 night cages at my door. But it was 13. It was exactly 13 euro to ship to me here in Toronto. So there you go. Yeah, I think it looks kind of cool. It's a pretty big box. I'll grab it off the shelf. This right here. This is what it looks like. Pretty thick. So check it out if you want. That finishes Friday, February 16th at 3 p.m. Moving along to premium card sleeves. These are the best premium sleeve at the best possible price. Each pack per €1 easy. So there you go. I know that they wouldn't lie to you because they said the best premium sleeves and the best possible price. And I'm not going to do any research on this, but I can only assume that they're telling the truth. And these must be the best since they said that it was the best, right? It's like seeing the best coffee in all of New York or something like that. If there's only one of those signs, there is only one. There can be only one. I don't know if anybody who's tried Big Turtle sleeves, but maybe you want to check them out. 5 packs, round corner pledge, 15 euro. Wait a minute. That doesn't look like each pack per €1 easy. Are you trying to pull a trick on me, Turtle? Just like Turtle fooled everyone in Entourage? Entourage. I don't know about that. Oh, well, there you go. 49 plus 2 packs of premium sleeve card. 49 euro. There you go. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like each pack per €1 easy. Hashtag Turtle. Check those out if they're good. You know me. I love sleeving cards and shuffling them right up. Slippity, slippity, slip. That's the sound. That's the sound that they make. Okay, let's move along. We don't have too much more. This is a short week, thank goodness, because I'm tired. Dungeon Twist, though, is something we do have. A strategy dungeon crawler with endless possibilities. Twist the dungeon. Rob your opponents. Run with the loot. Well, it says escape with the loot. But here, as long as you run with the loot, everyone's going to have a good time, okay? I'm afraid to look into this one. It looks very labyrinth, and that wasn't good at all. Procedural board with no procedural generation. Okay. Rob your opponents. So just take that. Find the treasure and escape in time. I don't know. Oh, that's cool. You can get a print and play for €1, though. That's nice. Or you can print out one for €40. Get that sent to you. Okay, you're going to have a hand of tiles. All right. To build a dungeon, some tiles activate bonus effects once on the board, like spawning things. You can rotate any tile, hence the twist. You can swap any tile and place it into your hand. Collect a triplet of matching tiles to play a room. Okay, I like that. Attack and defense stats that you're going to roll to steal from each other. You're going to get a bunch of gear, try to get treasure. It's just rolling against each other to steal things. No rule book, though. I doubt you have many reviews. Yeah, I mean, that's true. They can't let you know the exact shipping cost right now because the product doesn't exist yet, and costs may change depending on quantity and market fluctuations by the time it's completed. But you should know the general dimensions, right? Like, you should. That's not a good enough excuse. You need to know the general dimensions. It feels like they haven't done their due diligence on shipping, and they're going to say, well, we'll figure out the box size when we need to, and then we'll figure out shipping. But that's kind of a scary thing. I would be scared of that. Estimating 10 months of production, not when you don't have shipping logistics locked in, it's not going to be. I don't know. This one seems. There's no rule book, there's no shipping information, and it seems like a very generic place a tile down and take that your opponents into oblivion. Why someone would get this and enjoy it, I unfortunately can't see it, but maybe some people will and can take that risk. It's not for me, but that finishes Saturday, February 17th at 6:29 a.m. Okay, we're going to move along to something just briefly because I saw this, because whenever you search tabletop games, you see STLs for busty women in weird poses. So that's upcoming, and I just had to click on this because who is making this as a model? That's what I want to know. What sort of Gumby fantasy are you living in where people's bodies can move like that? Answer, they can't. But this is the internet, so I decided to subject you all to this as well. Like, no one exists like this. This is not anyone's proportions, or anyone's back can bend in that way. Stop giving me these unrealistic expectations for my minis. All right, let's move along to this one, our penultimate game, actually. There's really not a lot this week, so we're going to take a look at this one. It's Future Heroes, fast-paced, trick-taking board game. Lead your team of gladiators into the arena, arm them with weapons and magic, and ensure eternal glory in a dystopian future. So this seems like it takes Air, Land, and Sea or Marvel Snap or those sort of lane battlers and distills it down to playing 2 cards at a time towards them. You're going to get random heroes into your events. Well, I guess you start with 3 cards, but then whenever somebody dies or one of the event cards gets taken, you then just draw a random hero card, and then you can choose to battle it out by adding magic and weapons of the same type and the same color. But I don't quite see how you can control that. You're all drawing from communal decks. There doesn't seem to be that effective ways to get rid of them. I guess you're going to get rid of the ones that you can't match up on one event, let your person who you're playing against waste all of their good cards and then hope to win. I guess that's the play. I don't see what the difference is between magic and weapons right now. And you're also trying to get 2 fights or 3 duels where you're drawing these events from a random deck too, so you may not even get access to these to play. I'm not convinced. I don't see a rule book here, but maybe it'll be later on. $27 or 37 Canadian. Special rare version of the 30 hero cards. Okay. Actually, those hoodies look pretty freaking bomb. Yeah, they look pretty cool. I'd be interested in just one of those hoodies over the game. No rule book, it doesn't look like, but we do have a shipping idea. $12 to the US, 18 to the Europe. I guess I'm rest of the world for 40, so nope. Yeah, I don't think there's much here, though. It hasn't shown me enough. There's no rulebook on the page to show me even more. There's no playthroughs or previews, which is a shame. But I think it just, like, the art looks really fun. And there's an art development process, so it's not AI, even though it kind of looked like AI. Yeah, art looks really fun, but unfortunately the game doesn't seem that interesting to me. But if it seems interesting to you, hey, check it out. The finish is Sunday, February 18th at 11:49 a.m. Moving along to Ava, the waterproof board game table. They're partnering with Chip Theory so that you can throw this into the pool and then play Too Many Bones on this underwater. That is the goal of the Ava waterproof board gaming table. I know it is. I mean, it's not going to fund. There's 23 backers. It's very much not going to fund. I just wanted to look at it because I like tables and I like anyone who talks about tables. You know? I just want to know what makes it waterproof. Is it because it's sealed? Like, does it have a veneer on it? Has it been sprayed with waterproof stuff so you can't like eat on it? What makes it waterproof? Is this something people were asking for? Safety number one. There was a small child running around it who whacked her head against it, and she didn't cry one bit. Perfectly safe. Rounded corners, baby. Smash your children's head into it, or let them smash it themselves. And don't worry, your table will be fine. That's what matters. The table's safety. It's super sealed because there's rubber in the gaps. All right. Actually, I think it kind of looks cool. Like, the design of it looks pretty nice. I mean, it's €839, 127, and of course, you probably don't get the topper. Yeah, it doesn't include top plates for dining table. That would be $1539. That's made out of real wood, right? They cut the trees down 30 kilometers from the factory. That's what they said. And I do really like this design. I think it looks kind of nice. I do also like how it's split up just in these halves. So you're more likely to be able to pull off a half and have your dinner set up on one side as well. I think it looks like a really neat design. I don't think it's going to get any traction because it's certainly hasn't yet. But yeah, it kind of looks cool. I just don't think that they're offering anything different. Like, they're not offering it cheaper than the main manufacturers of tables. The design looks nice, but it's just like a different color of leg and a bit angled. And the way the topper's put together, sure. I like these. I like the way the cup holders are designed, but just because they look a little bit different than the grooved ones that most tables have. Anyway, yeah, it's not quite as much of a joke as I expected it to be, but hey, that's okay. That finishes Tuesday, February 20th at 3:02 a.m. if that interests you. And then finally, this is our last thing of the week. We have Ruination Bloodsworn. Return to the Bloodstained Sands and lead your tribe to victory. Ruination is sort of a cool-looking area control game by Colossal. I like Colossal quite a bit. I think they do good stuff. And let's see what this new expansion is going to add. Probably just new factions and a little bit more depth to it. But yeah, I thought Ruination kind of looked neat. So let's see what this one's all about. This looks like, even in that 37 seconds, it looks like everything you could want in an expansion for your favorite area control game, you know? Leaders, asymmetric powers, horde cards, so more AI enemies are coming to fight you. New action cards that you can use. And for $30, that's a good price that's a nice price for an expansion. You can get the game bundle pledge for $100, which is 135 Canadian plus shipping, so no thank you. Oh, it was designed by Travis Chance. Cool. I definitely thought this said with art by Ronald McDonald. But it's not. It's not that. It's Roland McDonald, Ronald's lesser-known cousin, who's just looks like a Voltorb, I think. Roland McDonald. Same color scheme, right? If it's Voltorb. It's tired. I'm tired, okay? We're just getting through it this week. Crowdfunding Countdown episode 124. Just get through it. Also, that's what she said. Let's just get through it. Yeah, just throwing in some more asymmetry there. That's kind of cool. And a new Con Rising solo mode because everybody loves solo modes. Bloodsworn introduces glorious players determined by their position on the glory track, similar to the favor track. So the same, just they changed the name. You can actually defend yourself in this expansion. Okay, that's cool. So it seems like hand management because you have an action deck of things that you can do. My favorite's obviously the chieftains. I like asymmetric powers. Rulebook, yes, give it to me. I think just the Bloodsworn rulebook. I mean, it's 3/4 down the page, but yeah. So this is just the new stuff. I don't quite know how to play Ruination, but I would have loved to see that rulebook there as well. Shipping game bundle 20 and 24. That's actually pretty good for a big bundle of stuff. Production fulfillment will begin end of the year. Sure. Yeah, I wish the rulebook for Ruination was on here somewhere. That's a bit unfortunate. I guess you do have a Ruination review over here from Z. When did that come out? Yeah, 2 years ago. Let's just jump right to the end. Oh, we got lots of pluses here. Yeah, Ruination is tough because it's one of those games that I think looks cool, and yet I have too many area control games that I already really like. And so I feel like that genre itself is pretty saturated. But Travis Chance, if I'm not mistaken, is, pretty high up at Come On right now. So that should be something that you might want to take note of. If you like commands games, maybe this will be a similar, equally fun style of something. But you can get Ruination right now. Like, you don't need to get the full gameplay bundle. You can just go to a store. You can order it. Let's see, what is it at 401 or Board Game Bliss? Yeah, like, it's sold out, but it was 76, 77 Canadian, which, you know, kind of comparable. You get a tiny little mini expansion here that I assume would be like $10, so be like $60 US-ish if you're just getting the base game. But here, you wouldn't have to pay for it, but this is, again, sold out. And, you know, that's on sale right now, so it's normally 90 Canadian. So seems like it's pretty comparable from a local store with pretty good deals to what it's going for right now. But yeah, if you're a big Ruination fan, I think you're already getting it. And if you're not, I don't think this is the place to get it. I think you just go out and get Ruination from your store and see if it's any good, right? You don't have to buy everything on Kickstarter. That's a good thing. Anyway, that's it. That's it for the week. And I think we'll leave it off with that idea that, remember, you don't have to buy everything on Kickstarter. Kickstarter isn't the only place to go. In fact, Kickstarter isn't a store, and that's how people can lose all their money on Kickstarter and not get anything, because they make that little disclaimer, even though, yes, very much Kickstarter is a store, but it's not a store. I'm always aware of covering everything week after week sort of encourages more of that buying cycle, and I try to temper that in the picks of the week, like weeks like this, where there is no pick of the week. There really isn't. I mean, I haven't played among Cultists yet to make it my pick of the week, so I can't. And nothing else looks really interesting enough. Like, I think Ruination is going to add a lot of stuff to its base game, but I don't know the base game, and they didn't put the rulebook on the page, so how am I supposed to know the base game, right? How am I supposed to even get excited about it? I can see the little tweaks, and I go, yeah, I'm sure for people who like the game, they've gotten excited about it, but for me, no, there's no pick of the week this week. Nothing. Pick of the week is, I don't know, I'm going to do a recap of what I loved the most at Level Up Gaming Retreat, because I'm back from that now. And spoiler alert, it's probably Wonderland's War. Wonderland's War was really fun. So maybe that's my pick of the week, is a retail copy of Wonderland's War, which goes for 63 Canadian. And yes, I said retail copy, even though the extra chips are obviously the thing that you want to get. Ugh, I know it. You know it. But if we look, the retail copy is cheaper. So just, it's not like $250. Remember, you don't need the minis and everything. They barely show up. The chips I get. Anyway, that one was pretty fun. That's something that I would highlight. Everything else this week, meh. I'm in the negative picks of the week because I even took away something from last week. But we'll keep on moving forward. Something's going to pop pretty soon. Who knows when that'll be? Maybe there'll be a 5 Reasons You Shouldn't Back upcoming for something that really explodes on the scene. But until then, your FOMO is kept in check. I hope you're playing the games on your shelf, and I hope you have a wonderful day. My name's Chris George, and oh shoot, you know what? This is really, really embarrassing, but I don't have a catchphrase. I was getting razzed about that too at Level Up. People said, you know what? Hey, Chris George, you don't have a catchphrase, and that's embarrassing for you. And I said, I know, I'm sorry. And I tried to get one for this end of the episode, and I just didn't. And I know that I let you all down, and I'm gonna have to live with that. I have to live with that longer than you. You'll go on to the next video. You'll forget that this even existed, and I'll be still here. I'll be still here thinking about it, how I've let you all down.